Shell.
And I'm Suze, and welcome to EduBofs,
where you will find tips for teachers and help for your students.
If you haven't already, make sure you click that little red subscribe button down below, as well as the bell next to it, so you get notifications when new videos pop up.
We are on all the socials.
Links are in the description box below.
So please share with your friends. We love spreading the love and helping out students everywhere.
Absolutely. So Shells, what is it that we're going to do today?
Well, last week we had a look at the middle school student experiment, but we looked at the research question.
We did, and if you haven't seen that video about the research question yet, I'll link it in the cards up above, and it's probably worth going to watch that before watching this one.
Good idea. So the next step in a student experiment is to modify a method.
So, are you going to run us through how we're going to do that?
I sure am, Suze. But first of all, let's have a quick review of that research question. We need a few things in a research question.
That's right. We need to have an independent variable, a dependent variable, and it needs to be specific.
Correct. And once we have got the research question, we are going to make a method that will test the research question. So, in our scenario, we are going to alter one aspect so that we can test the effect of light on the growth height of beans.
So if we remember from the last video, our independent variable, which is the variable that we're changing, was the amount of light. The dependent variable, which is the variable that we measure, was the height of the climbing beans.
Correct.
So, shall we get on with it then?
Let's do it.
Over to you.
Thank you, Suze. So over here, we've got a method, and this method is just for growing beans. But if we want to change it to test our research question, we're going to have a look at what needs to be changed. So our original method says we've got 6 climbing beans that were potted in 250 milliliters of soil. They were watered with 50 milliliters of tap water. The height in millimeters was measured at the start and again after 2 weeks using a ruler. And lastly, the bean plants were left on a sunny windowsill and watered each week with 100 milliliters of water. If our research question is different and looks at the amount of light, we can't use this exact method. If this is our IV, we want to be able to change the amount of light. So how are we going to do this? We can still use 6 climbing beans. We can still pot them in 250 milliliters of soil. So those aspects haven't changed. We'll water them because it's good to water plants when you first plant them. Otherwise they tend to die. And we need to measure the height because remember that our dV was the height in millimeters. So we're going to measure it at the start, we're going to measure it at the finish. But we certainly don't want all 6 bean plants on a sunny windowsill because otherwise we haven't changed the amount of light. So this is the bit that we need to modify. So you have to think about how are you going to modify it. Well, if I was doing this experiment, I would split the 6 bean plants. I would put 3 on the windowsill, and I would put 3 in a cupboard. So these 3 are going to get lots of light, and these 3 are going to get hardly any light. And now I have changed the amount of light. I have modified my experiment. It's really important that you say why your experiment was modified like this. Why did we do this? Why did we change that aspect of the experiment? Well, we changed that aspect so that we could test the effect of changing the amount of light. So over here we've got the how, and down here we've got the why, and that's it. We have modified an experiment.
We hope that you found this useful. As I said before, if you haven't seen the video on the research question, you should probably go and watch that one first. What are we going to be looking at next time, Shels?
Well, once we've modified the method, we have to actually do the experiment.
And that's the fun bit!
It is.
Yay!
It is. I think we need some plants for that one too.
I think we do. So in our next video, we are going to be looking at how to run the experiment. That is right?
We're going to look at how to run the experiment, and we're going to look at how to collect the data and how to process the data.
So if you have any questions or comments, please put them in the comments box below, and Shels and myself will endeavour to answer any questions that you might have. We would also love it if you could subscribe if you haven't already. We love our subscribers and we really appreciate the support that you give us. We also ask that you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and share with all of your friends.
Well, that's it for this week.
We'll see you next time.
Cheers.
Bye.